you know what? It just sucks. It totally sucks. It sucks. No, I'm not going to say that word. Howdy everybody, welcome back to Sunday Coffee, Guitars and Tones. This is the show where we grab our favourite cup of coffee, hang out and just talk about guitars, tones and all great music things. I've been sick. Yeah, I was really sick. So you might have missed me last week because I was not able to record any videos for a whole week. I got a really bad cold and it knocked me on my butt for a whole week, man. It was so damn frustrating. And you know, I had so much to do that week as well. And I was just kind of, just going out of my mind. It almost felt like, I needed a note from a parent or guardian. Dear YouTube, Jay can't make it this week because he's not feeling well. Man, I'm kind of addicted to my job and what I do and music and stuff. So, being sick is, you know what? It just sucks. It totally sucks. It sucks. No, I'm not going to say that word. I was going to say it sucks, the B word. But anyways, I'm better now, thankfully, and I needed to get better because, I had a bunch of things to get done and I had people visiting and I had a trip to take as well. First, recording, I had some videos planned and I was really keen to get recording the tracks. And I got sick on, I think it was the Friday evening or the Saturday. And I was thinking, I'll be okay by Monday. So Monday rolls on and no, I wasn't better. So I'm thinking Tuesday, I'll be all right. I'll take a day off. I'll be all right by tomorrow. And by Tuesday, I was kind of, my nose was running quite a lot and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe I should give it a shot. And I came in here with the intention of putting a guitar on and doing it. But my nose was running so much, I kind of figured, you know what, I'm going to be standing here and all the drip is going to be lubricating my fretboard. And it's not going to be a pretty sight and it's not going to feel very good. Ugh. Even the thought of it, man, it's kind of icky. Nope. So it didn't happen. And then Tuesday turned into Wednesday, turned into Thursday, turned into Friday. And eventually by the end of the week, I was better again. Thankfully, just in time, because on the weekend, my very good friend Rainer and his family visited me. Yeah, and it was a great time. That was last weekend. It feels like longer, but, it was literally just a week ago. So, hey, Rainer, how's it going? Shout out for Rainer and his wonderful family. His wife and kids are just absolutely fantastic people, and loved hanging out with all of them on the Saturday and the Sunday. And we had a great time. By the way, I bet you Rainer won't watch this episode. Let's do a little test. Rainer, if you're watching this episode, leave a message. Yeah, leave a comment. I bet you he won't. He only sometimes watches my videos. So let's see if he watches this one. But anyhow, even if he doesn't, it's totally cool. I'm totally chilled about it. It's, not mandatory, of course. But anyways, I've known Rainer for quite a few years now. You might have seen my video where I went over to his place in Germany, near Stuttgart. And I actually recorded a track at his house. If you haven't seen that, I'll link a video somewhere up here if I remember. If I don't, then search for it on my YouTube. You'll find it. It was just after Guitar Summit last year. I got back in the beginning of October, so it'll be around there, sometime in October last year. But we had such a great time hanging out there, and I basically wrote and recorded a track within a couple of hours at his house on his laptop with, his gear and stuff through an amp sim. Yep, it's just the way I roll. I write very, very quickly. And, I wanted to do something for him because we're working on a second album. He has a band called Ranium, and I played on the first album. I played the solos on a lot of the tracks, most of the tracks actually. Michael Voss actually played solos on a couple of the tracks as well. Michael actually sang on all of the songs also. But we're working on a second album, which is very, very cool. And we listened to one of the tracks when he came over and he was here. And we listened to it in the studio and stuff. We hung out for a little bit in here and, did a little bit of music stuff, but mainly it was just about chilling and hanging out. Because you know what, when you spend time with, your friends and loved ones, it's always a good time, right? It's the reason I do this. I get to hang out with you guys because I consider you guys to be part of my kind of musical family as well. You guys visit my channel every week, hopefully. Subscribe and like, yeah. Hit the bell notification. But no, seriously, I always have a great time interacting with all of you on my channel, and I love the comment section. It's the reason I actually spend time to read all of the comments and reply to most of them, heart them if I can't reply to them, if just time is short or something like that. But most of the time I reply to pretty much every single comment that comes in. So it's a fun thing to do, and I'm sure you guys feel the same as well. But I needed to get well for that. But also this week gone has been absolutely epic. I had a trip coming up and I needed to get well for that. I really needed to be 100% better for that. And thankfully I was. Because, check this out. You'll get to find out about it a little bit later in the week. But trust me, it was absolutely epic. And you don't want to miss that episode. So stay tuned this week because you'll get to see all of that. Anyways, let's talk about guitars. Yeah, I have a very lovely one in my lap right now. And this one is an absolute honey. This is my Spira Guitars S420 in chameleon finish. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, the color changes. I don't know if you can see the purple on this. It does go purple as well. A little bit. Let's see if I can catch the light. Maybe. You'll have to trust me on this, but this is such a lovely guitar. It has this kind of like pearlescent paint on it, which changes color depending on the angle that you're sitting, the lighting and stuff like that. I always see the purples in it, which I love my purple guitars. You know this already because, hey, look around. There's a couple of purple guitars up there, which are my Sterling Lukes. So this has been an absolutely amazing guitar to play. Huge shout out to Lee over at Spira Guitars for sending this over. Thank you so much, man. I so appreciate it. This is an incredible guitar. He also sent over a V guitar, which is in matte black. That is an epic guitar as well. The thing that blows my mind is these are budget guitars. They're not very expensive. But the quality is incredible. And you might have seen the unboxing video which I did of this and the V guitar earlier this week. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. You'll enjoy it, trust me, because the box turned up. It was actually on my doorstep and I didn't know who sent it because I had a couple of packages kind of turning up this week or that week. This week? No, that week. This didn't just happen this week. And honestly, I kind of like went out there. I was like, what? Who sent me a guitar? Anyways, go and check it out. I just wanted to talk about kind of the budget guitar thing just for a little bit because this guitar and the V as well has really put into perspective just how far budget guitars have come. And, back in the day when I started playing, if you bought a budget guitar, it was a budget guitar. It was built on a budget of like 20 cents. I kid you not, man. Sharp fret edges. You're lucky if the frets are leveled. Very difficult to play a lot of the time. The necks were usually about, this fat. So you had to kind of almost wrap your hand around it. You get the idea. They weren't easy to play. These days, you can pick up a guitar for like, you know, £200, £300, £400, 500, which is what these guitars are in the range of. And they are so well sorted. This guitar in particular, and the V as well, I've been so surprised by the quality of the fretwork. A lot of the action happens on the fretboard, you know. It's really important to have that well sorted. And on these guitars, absolutely amazing. Been totally blown away. I'd love to know if you guys have a Spirit guitar or a budget guitar which is like that, because I know they've been more readily available over the last couple of years, and a lot of us have been buying them, you know, because they are just great value. And I actually know people who are selling their expensive guitars and they're happy to basically play the budget ranges now because the difference is so minimal between them. Yeah. Does it make sense to have like a $4,000 or $5,000 guitar when you can get the same playing experience and probably kind of similar tones from a budget guitar? The great thing about inexpensive guitars is that because you haven't spent so much on it, you can upgrade them as well. So if you don't like the sound of the pickups, you can easily buy a new set of pickups and a really high grade set of pickups and put them in the guitar to get the tones that you like. Yeah. The important thing is if it plays well, if it sounds good, if it resonates well, then hey, if it inspires you to pick it up and play and you like the tones, then it's done its job, man. It totally has done its job. And my thoughts on this, you know, my initial thoughts, as soon as I pulled it out of the box, it was like, wow, this is great. Especially the neck and the frets. Loved it. The fact that it has an absolutely killer headstock as well. Yeah. This is just incredible. Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest headstocks I've seen in a while. I do like it a lot. But anyways, I think this guitar suits me. The V is very, very nice as well. I would love to hear your thoughts about budget guitars and which ones you have. So let me know. So anyways, when I was doing the track for the unboxing video, I kind of thought, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit Ozzy because obviously went to Birmingham not too long ago and did the whole Ozzy Osbourne tour thing and in the museum and went and saw the sights and stuff. And you'll notice Ozzy the Bat is installed in the studio. Yeah! So he's overlooking and he inspired an Ozzy style track. Also, these guitars are very metal. Yeah, that reverse headstock totally screams metal. And I kind of figured, you know what, I'm going to try and do an Ozzy tribute type of thing. And it was very, very cool. I really enjoyed doing that track. If you've not seen it, trust me, go and check it out on the video because, man, there's a little bit of Jake E. Lee inspiration there. And when I say a little bit, I mean about this much. Yeah. More. Also, doesn't Jake play a blue Chauvel guitar? Yeah, blue. Maybe that inspired it as well. I don't know. Anyways, it came from somewhere and I wanted to do it. And that track came out really, really great. I really enjoyed playing that and coming up with the riffs. Yeah, they are very, very inspired by a certain Ozzy Osbourne track, which, you know, if you've seen it, you'll know already. Leave a comment if you have seen that video and what you thought of the track, because I thought it was epic. I loved doing it. And then coming up with the solos. Now, this was like the challenge, you know, to play solos which were reminiscent of not just Jake, but also a little bit of Randy Rhoads inspiration in there, a little bit of Zach inspiration in there as well. You know, bringing all of the guitar players to kind of create the whole vibe of it and stuff. And yeah, it was just a really, really fun time to do all of that. And talking about playing in the style of my guitar heroes, I have another video coming up on Tuesday, actually, which is a fractal video where I dial in a tone of one of my other guitar heroes as well. Yeah, using this guitar here. Yeah, my Ibanez RG. which has a PAF Pro in the bridge. I wonder which artist that could be. You'll just have to tune in and find out that as well. I reckon this week's going to be a pretty epic week for videos. So stay tuned for everything that's coming up, because I know you're going to enjoy it. In fact, I'm going to get on with recording a track for the second video I need to do a little bit later on in the week of that trip that I took. Yeah, there is going to be a track on that as well. Anyways, it's always fun to hang out with you guys. I will let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks so much for hanging with me. And I'm kind of glad I'm feeling better again, so that I can come and do this and hang out with you guys and not just be drip, 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 drip all over the place. Sucks. Absolutely kind of... No. No. I don't want to feel like that again, man. It's just a horrible, horrible feeling, isn't it? But anyways, thankfully, I'm well again. Yay! Alrighty, guys and girls, enjoy your coffees today, and I will see you really soon with another one. And in the meantime, have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.